Hello and welcome back, MTG Burgeoning community and the YouTube viewing audience. If you are still hanging with the latter and wish to join the former, you can make that transition so easy by clicking that subscribe button. By doing so, you open yourself up to the possibilities of participating in so many of this channel's sweet rewards, all of which you can peruse in the description below. In today's video, we continue our breakdown of a sealed case of Commander Legends by examining multicolored cards. Burgeonites, welcome back here on this MTG Burgeoning Saturday, and we are back to break down the contents of one sealed case of Commander Legends. If you missed any of the previous installments of this series, you can click on any of the links below to bring you up to speed with regards to the breakdown of all white, blue, black, red, and green cards acquired in one sealed case of Commander Legends. And in today's video, we are going to break down quickly, as you can see, the multicolored cards that were present in one sealed case of Commander Legends. There were not many, as you can tell. There's just a handful. However, the majority, I shouldn't say the majority, all of them are either uncommon or they are higher. So there are no common. We're just looking at uncommons, a lot of partners. So let's grab half a stack and let's just start talking about what we got here. So if we start looking and paying attention to the rarities across 6 sealed boxes in the same case of Commander Legends, we start with Zara Renegade Recruiter. All right, and we ended up getting 3 copies of Zara as a rare. There's Yurlok of Scorched Thrash. We end up getting 3 copies of Yurlok. So we're going to keep the rares on this side. We'll put the uncommons here. Tuya Bearclaw. This was in one of the, never mind, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 copies of Tuya Bearclaw, averaging 1 per box. Felice, the Reverent Medium, another uncommon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And as we progress with the multicolored cards here, Burgeonites, you are going to notice a pretty apparent trend. Here we have Rayav, Master Smith, a Boros Legendary Dwarf Artificer, another uncommon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, average of 1 per box. Now we switch courses back to rares, and here we have Obeka, the Brute Chronologist. And we got 1, 2, 3 copies of Obeka. Again, we're sticking with rares with Nimris, Unos Trickster, Legendary Fairy Knight, 1, 2 copies. Another rare of Navinero, Urborg Tyrant, 1, 2, 3 copies. Rare again, Lisa, Shroud of Dusk. This is the missing Avacyn Restored Angel. When we had, Sigarda was the Selesnya Angel, and Gisela was the Boros Angel. And then Bruno was the Azorius Angel. The only angel that was missing with white in it was the Orzhov Angel, Lisa. And here she is as the Shroud of Dusk. 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of Lisa. And 1 foil that is so battered and so dull and so dark. This foil rare of Lisa is similar to all of the foil uncommons that we had in the previous color boxes of this Commander Legends case breakdown. So my suspicion as of, the filming of these videos is that all of the uncommons and the foil multicolor cards are all pretty much from the same cut. And you're going to see more as we move forward. Here is Lethiel, the Bounteous Dawn, Unicorn Legend. 1, 2, 3, and another, as you can see, very dark, dull, washed out foil. A foil rare, very similar to the foils we saw of the uncommon variety in the previous 5 videos. Back to our rares, and here's Quain, the Itinerant Meddler. 1, 2. As you're noticing with the majority of these rares, we're not getting more than 2 or 3 in a sealed case. So that's something to keep in mind, because some of them, clearly the uncommons, we're going to get them a lot more, but some of the rares are a lot more difficult to get than others. Kanji, the Sky Warden, so we're going back to our uncommons. We're going to keep these together in our rare pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's our 6 again. The uncommon legends seem to average 1 per box, whereas on average the rares are about 1 every 2 boxes. Here's Yuri, Master of the Review. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's another 6. So that's more uncommons, averaging 1 per box. I mean, having 2 dedicated legend spots in each pack of Commander Legends definitely lends to getting a lot more of the uncommons on a pack per pack, box per box basis. So we go back to our rares. We have Jared Carthalion, the True Heir. 1, 2, 3 copies. So staying on trend with getting pretty much 1 rare copy per 2 boxes, so 3 in a case. Back to our uncommons, we have Emoti, Celebrant of Bounty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 copies there. Back again to our rares, we have Hans Eriksson. 1, just the 2. This one had just the 2 copies of Hans Eriksson of the 1 sealed case. And now it's time to grab our last stack of multicolored cards. So we include them here. And we're going to uncommon. We have Hamza, the Guardian of Irration. Another uncommon legend. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at that. There it is. Another uncommon foil that just looks awful. And for Hamza, one of the rare instances in which we only got 4 copies of an uncommon legend, and that was across an entire case, of course. All right, we got a rare here in Gore Muldrock, the Amphibiologist. 1, 2, just 2 copies there. Nostro, Voice of the Crags. 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of that rare. So we broke the, on average, 3 per case threshold with with Nostro. And we have, again, the Arcanum Weaver, the Mardu Human Wizard. 1, 2, 3. Another rare of Kulfiner, the Last U. 1, 2. Only 2 there for Kulfiner. So on average, we're still sticking around that 3 per case, 1 every 2 boxes threshold. Back to our uncommons with Captain Vargas Wrath, our Orc Pirate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 copies of Captain Vargas. Back to our rares, we have Blim, the Comedic Genius. 1, 2 copies of Blim. Here's Belborka, the Spectral Sergeant. We have a legendary Spirit Soldier of the Boros variety, of course. 1, 2, 2 copies of Blim, 2 copies of Belborka, leading us to Belby, the Corrupted Observer, our Golgari Zombie Elf. 1, 2, just 2 copies of her. Averna, the Chaos Bloom, our Teamer Elemental Shaman. 1, 2, 3 copies of Averna. Next up is our Chelos, the Lagoon Mystic. This is our Saltai Turtle Shaman. 1, there's a foil rare, which, if you can look closely enough, the print is barely legible on the bottom. As long as our Chelos is untapped, other permanents, it's just so hard to see that. So aside from the washed out foil copy of our Chelos, we only got 1 other copy. All right, so we're back to our uncommons, and our uncommons are back to Arami of the Dead Tide. This is our Dimir Merfolk Wizard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 copies of Arami. And Amareth the Lustrous, our Bant Dragon. 1, 2, 3, 3 copies of Amareth. And we're keeping the rares and the uncommons on separate piles, of course. Abomination of Llanowar is our last legend of this set, or of this of the multicolored cards, and that gave us 5 copies. All right, so these were the stack of our uncommon legends from 1 case of Commander Legends, and this was the stack of rare. And honestly, from the eye test, and we're going to pick them up so that we could show, they are pretty much the same number. The quantity is the same, as you can see right here. Look at that. That's pretty even, folks. That's pretty even. And as we saw earlier with our uncommons, we averaged at least 5, probably. 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we probably would say we average between 5 and 6 copies of each uncommon legend in a sealed case of Commander Legends. And of course, based on rarity, which is not going to be a surprise, there were fewer copies of each rare stretched across the 6 boxes in one sealed case, and that's to be understood. 3 Zara, 3 Urlach, Obeka with 3, Nimris with 2, Navineral 3, 4 copies of Lisa, just 3 copies of Lathiel, Quain had 2, Jared 3, Hans 2, Gore with 2, Nostro with 4, Gen had 3, Kulfiner with 2, Blim with 2, Balborka 2, Belby 2, Averna 3, Archelos just the 1, and then 3 copies of Amorous. Again, understood based on rarity that the uncommon legends are going to appear more frequently than the rare legends. That's not a disappointment. What's a disappointment? Again, it comes back to these foilings. Look at these foil cards, folks. These have to be foiled just like the uncommons were. You know what? Let me go grab some for a little bit of a closer comparison. Okay, so for the purposes of comparison, here were the stack of green foils, which was the most recent color breakdown that we did for this series of videos. So here were the green foils, and we're going to have just commons and rares in this stack so that you can kind of get a sense and a feel as to how bright and nicely foiled they are. I mean, they're nice and clear. The text is legible. The artwork is great. There's a nice, bright, almost white-like shine to the foils. They're just beautiful. This is how the foils should be across all of the cards. So these were the foil commons and uncommons for green. I'm sorry, the foil commons and rare for green. Here were the uncommons. The 3 Visits, the Reclamation Sage, Armorcraft, and Iktekik. And if we put them in comparison to the foil multicolor cards, to me, they look like they came from the exact same foiling process. Look at that. No change whatsoever to the dullness or the washed out, barely legible foiling process. Most disappointing. This is MTG Burgeoning, folks. And this is the Commander Legends sealed case breakdown multicolored cards. Stay tuned as we wrap up this series with our colorless breakdown.